An image appears of a document representing a soldier's pension with handwriting at the bottom. At the top, text reads, "Pensions of Guilford Courthouse." On the left of a drawing, we have a long line of blue-coated Continentals. They are in parade formation with flags at the center of their line. To the right, George Washington is mounted on a horse, surrounded by staff officers, reviewing the soldiers. James Irvine enlisted in the Virginia Continental Line in 1776 at the age of 26. A black and white diagram depicts 10 copies of a Continental soldier. Each version of the soldier stands in a slightly different depiction. The drawing illustrates the ways that a soldier would load and handle their musket. The professional training and 5 years of experience served him well when he came to Guilford Courthouse, but he was not in the Continental Line by 1781. A painting shows a well-dressed man in combat. He holds a saber in his right hand and faces towards an unseen enemy to the right side of the screen. He has a large black felt hat with a large brim, and a fine light brown coat with a golden sash worn across his torso. Irvine was now serving in the Virginia militia. Footage of the woods at Guilford Courthouse fades in. The camera is walking and panning through the woods on a cloudy day. Several partial images fade in over top of this footage. One shows Continentals and militia firing from behind a downed tree. Another depicts surprised British troops in the woods with a wounded comrade at their feet. The next image is a line of redcoats firing their muskets, which is matched by a rough pencil sketch of more soldiers firing muskets and creating smoke. We then return to the single image of the finely dressed soldier in a brown coat. The militia from Lunenburg County were among the last to fall back from the second line, engaging in a prolonged firefight against the 71st Highlanders. The experience of these men helped them stick it out as the two lines loaded and fired at each other in the dense woods at the center of the battlefield. They were also encouraged by the fact that their commander, Edward Stevens, had placed riflemen behind their line with orders to shoot, quote, "the first man who flinched." For many soldiers like James, the war was a mixture of both continental and militia service. A painting depicts a man seated in his den, a musket at his legs and a pipe in his hand. On his left, his wife chides him. On his right, he has 2 children, a boy and a girl, who look on with surprised expressions. Serving in the war had to be balanced with responsibilities at home. A pencil sketch shows a finely dressed Continental officer with staff officers close to him, with ideas of what opportunities service might provide you, and an etching shows a mob gathered around a hanging effigy in a town square. Some of the men appear to be throwing rocks at the effigy. Whether there was a crisis in your region. A drawing shows several people gathered close outside of a house. At center, an old man with a beard appears to be telling a story. Looking on are a young woman at the left of the screen, an eager and enthralled young man standing behind the old man, and to the right of the screen, 2 skeptical soldiers listen. One has an eye patch and looks comically at the other soldier, who has a concerned look on his face. What were the sacrifices in time, resources, and personal health that a soldier was willing to make? The National Park Arrowhead logo appears.